I've been weary for two reasons. Either I've said yes to too many things because the season is good and I try to ride that wave, and I started to get weary because I agree to things but I'm in the wrong season, or I get weary because I'm holding on to a season.
Oh.
Have you had your daily drip? Welcome to the Daily Drip Podcast, where we create kingdom content that builds community. I am so honored. I got my buddy Mike in the
What's up,
building.
dude? Yeah.
Good to see you,
I
man.
love being here. I'm so stoked that you invited me. Can't wait.
Yeah. You know, right before we started this, I'm like, I'm training my waves, and like, I don't want to miss a second of the training. He gave me permission that I can keep this wave cap on because it's my podcast.
As long as I get to wear my Dodger hat, we're good.
Okay, so here's the question though.
Yeah.
See, Mike and I met at Thousand Pines, and he contracted me to be a speaker, but we've developed a brotherhood. Would I be able to preach with a wave cap on?
Bro, you do whatever you got to do.
Oh, see, there it is.
Go. Let's go.
Okay. But I may want to have the wave cap off depending on how the waves end up looking.
Oh, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Okay.
As much as I can. As much as I can. We'll just leave it there.
All right. Well, happy belated Father's Day. Father's Day was yesterday.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Married, kids?
Yeah, married, got 4 kids. Youngest is 6, oldest is 13. Life is busy. Work for a Christian camp at Thousand Pines and get to. The whole point of that is for people to see, know, and experience God. And love missions. That's kind of a little bit about who I am. Pastoral ministry for a bit.
Yeah, and what I love about Mike, he loves pastors. He loves the community, and he puts his heart and soul in the content to prepare it. So I think we're going to get some of that today. The drip for today, because this is season 2. We're in Ecclesiastes. The drip for today is seasons. We started off Ecclesiastes last week with my daughter Faith. She gave some knowledge, and now let's see what Mike is going to share with us, starting at verse 5. The sun rises and the sun goes down and hastens to the place where it rises. The wind blows to the south and goes around to the north. Around and around goes the wind, and on its circuits the wind returns. All streams run to the sea, but the sea is not full. To the place where the streams flow, there they flow again. All things are full of weariness. A man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. Kind of ended kind of sad.
Dude, you know what? And that's the thing is I read this, and there's nothing that anybody, like it takes anybody by surprise.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, we know the sun comes up and the sun goes down. Like we know the wind blows from a couple of different directions. Like we get rivers go to the sea, and it's not like we get that.
Yep.
But what caught my attention is that just what you said, and like it ends on a downer, but it kind of starts in this you get a little glimpse of it in that first verse that you read. You said the sun rises, the sun goes down, and that word, the first time I read through this, that word hastens.
Okay.
It hastens to the place where it rises. Yeah. You know, there's some times where, like for me, it seems like all sunny days.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It seems like we're in a good spot and life is great. But whoever's writing this is going, it's like the sun can't wait to set on me. It's like this is the sun wants to go down on me. Like it's trying to get down.
Okay.
And even as it kind of talks about some other things, it's just, you know, we know the wind blows a couple of different directions, but this thing is like, man, it just goes in circles.
For sure.
Like I'm on a merry-go-round, I just can't get off.
Yeah. And then season in and season out, now I can start getting dizzy. And then like what you're saying, man, I want these sunny days.
Yeah.
But I've seen some dark days. So when I see sunny days again, I may get afraid for the next dark day.
Yeah, totally. And you know this reminds me of other verses. You read verses in the Psalms, and it talks about the sun as like this bridegroom bursting forth, and it's like owning the day, and it's this beautiful thing. And what's crazy is, man, you and I can experience the same season in 2 different ways.
Yeah.
We can see the same sun from 2 different angles. And this guy's ending up saying, look, all this, it's good, but it's winding me down.
For sure.
Like I'm in a season of winding
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, like I feel that way
Hmm.
a lot of times.
Can you describe a season that you've gone through that comes to mind when you see this? You know, what I thought about with you, use it if you want, is you have these two camp seasons.
Yep. Yo, totally agree. Totally
Because
agree.
right now it's summer and you're in
Oh,
the thick
yeah.
of your camp season.
Oh, for
So you
sure.
go from a prep season, then your execution.
Well, it's all
mode.
winding up right now, right?
Okay.
And so yeah, and this was new for me. I was in pastoral ministry for a long time, and I get it a glimpse, right? You get your Christmas season or you get your Easter season, and it ramps up.
Yeah.
But then you start camp, and it's not the same thing at all. And so yeah, for me, I got a winter camp and I got summer camps, and that's crazy busy. But for me, I'm also just wrapped up school, so
Yeah.
been
Congrats,
working
by the
on
way.
degrees for a
Yeah.
long time. So
Yeah.
just wrapped up a master's degree. But what was crazy for me is over winter is it's winter camp season. It's now master's degree season. I got papers due. I got textbooks to read.
For sure.
But that doesn't mean that it's not dad season.
For
That doesn't mean that
sure.
it's not
For
like
sure.
husband season. And so for me, I don't know about you, but there's moments where I come up off the pill and it's like, okay, let's do this. I'm ready to go. But by the end of the day, I go down tired.
For sure.
And the end of that season was like I started off on a really good. I ran my first half marathon. Like life was good.
Yeah.
But as that season started running out, like I was not seeing so clear. Like I was weird.
Yeah, and I think we're getting wisdom here from the writer because he's talking about the sun, he's talking about the wind, and he's talking about the sea. All three of those things we don't control,
Yeah.
but God
Oh,
controls.
amen.
Right? So then, okay, after he talks about sun, wind, and sea, then he says, well, all things. So I think what this writer is saying, in all wisdom, because this book is about wisdom, I'm going to live a life not expecting to be in control, but trusting in the fact that God's in control. Because if you look deeper in the verse, all things are full of weariness. Now, when I think about times when you talked about the end of a season and coming down from this season, I've been weary for two reasons. Either I've said yes to too many things because the season is good and I try to ride that wave, and I start to get weary because I agree to things, but I'm in the wrong season. Or I get weary because I'm holding on to a season.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
And God is moving us. I don't know if you can relate to that. God is moving us to a different season, but we may be holding on to another season.
Yep.
What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I feel like maybe just because of the way that culture is so fast right now, right? Culture's so fast that it's hard for us to interact between the two different seasons. Sometimes we're loving this season, and then I mean a new technology drops, or a new way of thinking drops, or a new personality shows up to bring a new way, and it feels like you got to catch on to that new thing. And so many times we're just going, I'm not ready for that yet.
An example of that for me, bro, is Chat GPT.
Oh, for sure.
So when it first dropped, I'm like, I'm not using that. That's sinful. I'm gonna squeeze the scriptures and I'm gonna get my 3 points. I'm gonna come up with my own show notes and everything. Oh, I'm using ChatGPT. I'm in a season where I am using AI as a tool to help me.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be the submit to God in the content that I believe He has for me. But if there are new tools that I can use in this season, because the dad season doesn't stop, the husband season doesn't stop. Well, what are some new things that can be added that can help complement?
Yeah, to kind of get you ready for whatever God has before you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To close, it says, the eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. So you had talked about a little bit earlier how fast paced our culture is going.
Yeah.
And I believe what's making our culture fast paced is how often we can just scroll to the next thing. So sometimes we don't get what we can from a past season because TikTok has taught us how to treat seasons.
Totally. Yeah.
One video I'm laughing, next video somebody's crying, next video. So if I just do this all day, now I'm being trained on how to treat seasons, and now my eyes or my ears are never satisfied with what I'm seeing because I always have the option to see more. But I think what this is teaching us is, no matter what season you're in, sunny or sunset, windy or calm, God is in control. And being that he's in control, there are certain things that God may be entrusting to us to learn from that season to prepare us for the next season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the cool verses or words in that one is that word satisfied.
Yeah.
It's the, like, I read that and it's the idea of hunger, right? And I don't know about you, but it seems like everybody that I meet, man, they're hungry and thirsty. And it's like we can't figure out, like, what is the thing that is actually going to make me okay?
Yeah.
Is it being a husband? Isn't it being a father? Is it for, like, being great at my job? Man, for me at camp, is it people coming back and, can't get enough? Is it that 5-star review? Is it that rating? Is it whatever it is? And, but the thing is, you get it.
Yeah.
And then you'll get a 3-star and I'm unsatisfied again.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Like that, because that 5-star review, it wasn't satisfying.
Yeah.
And finding the thing that actually satisfies in and out of every season. I mean, I think it's a thing that this writer's looking for. Or is as at least helping us to look for.
So I think that's what we're going to practice this week, because I think he hit gold. We won't be satisfied if we don't already have proactive goals on what a win is. Because if you don't have those goals in mind, then we will allow the culture to define what the win is. And the culture is always going to look for the lowest hanging fruit. Are you growing? Are you going viral? Is it more people? Is it more? And it's like with me doing this podcast, I have to fight not to look at numbers. Totally. I didn't do this for numbers, but then you want to make an impact, but then there's this tension.
Back and forth.
So no matter what season, because one season is sunny with numbers, or maybe it's like sunset with numbers, no matter what, going back to why. Why are you doing what God has called you to do in the first place? What satisfies you without other people's dependence? So if we're going to practice this drip of seasons, I think what me and Mike are saying, no matter what season you're in, things are going to change that are outside of your control. But God is in control. And since God is in control, he's the one, his Father filtered, he's allowed us to be in the season because he wants us to learn things. Many times I've prayed for things. Things have gone worse, but it's to prepare me for what I'm praying for.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And I think, I mean, we were talking about why, and I think the other side of it is who. Like, it's not just why this thing is happening, but it's who I'm becoming.
I like it.
In the midst of this.
I like it.
And so God's not answering a prayer, or God does answer a prayer, or God drops a gift in your lap that you never saw coming, or the wind blew too hard, and whatever it is. And I think God cares so much more about the who. That God knows exactly who you're gonna become. And he's doing what is necessary to get you there.
Yeah. Well, that's the drip. I'm so grateful to have. I gotta have you back on, Mike. You down to come back?
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Next time I'm gonna wear my wave cap again because you allowed me.
Yeah,
but
you go.
Next time I'm in 1,000 Pines, I'm pulling up with a wave cap.
You do it. I'll probably still have a Dodgers hat on.
We're gonna close this episode by saying, "Stay dripping, my."
Oh, that was it?
Yeah. That was it.
Okay, do it again. Let's go.
Okay. Hey. That was the drip. It was seasons, and we're gonna close by saying, "Stay dripping, my friends."